in Hawaii in 1970 with a handsome young man named Patrick with reddish-brown hair and a beautiful young Irish woman named Colleen who has red hair and freckles. I had fixed up many more programs for Ben and then took a week of leave. My delivery trip had been put off a bit. Meanwhile, he'd have people testing the system. It will work, Ben.
Great.
There were never two people more free than Colleen and I. We sailed to Molokai on our own, in a rented boat, she teaching me how to run a sail, for I had lived a landlocked childhood. Along the way we saw the great humpback whales spawning, as they did every year. We arrived at the base of the huge green cliffs where there had been a leper colony a long time ago, then rode a mule up to civilization and poked around all the old Western-style towns. By this time I had become so brown-skinned that I could hardly remember what color white was. We stayed in a first-class hotel, feeling like two bums suddenly turned into royalty. The next day or so, we took a tiny airplane to Maui and climbed the Halakala crater where there were still some steaming vents, and watched the sun rise, a revered Maui tradition. We saw it from above the clouds. It was almost a religious experience. It was said the demigod, Maui, lassoed the sun and held it prisoner until it agreed to shine on Maui's island every day of the year. And so it did, practically. As luck would have it, a hurricane was passing by the day we were there, very close, but to the south, and high wave forecasts had cleared all the beaches. However, the sun still shone on Maui, just like always. When Colleen saw marijuana growing wild on the hillsides, she almost fainted with ecstasy. Soon recovering, she gathered a few samples. Having already run low of money, we chanced upon someone who, not so strangely as it turned out, was growing pot and mushrooms. And we, having become rather overly social from our days on the Waikiki porch, easily made a friend of him and had him laughing with some of our tales of adventures and misfortunes. And so it was that he invited us to stay there for a few days. It turns out that mushroom farming is indeed a useful business on Maui, and only a few of the mushrooms were of the magic variety, and I'm sure we had some, for there were several days during which we knew not whence we came nor where we went. Another useful occupation in Hawaii was picking macadamia fruits. The reason that macadamia nuts are so expensive is that one. They are so hard to extract. Only one measly nut can be obtained from a fruit the size of a plum, and two, they are so delicious that you just can't stop eating them, and so the demand ever exceeds the supply. So we went a little nuts for a while and had many a mushroom pipe dream. But it was time to return to Oahu. Both of us were rich in love and well steeped with the outer island experiences, for we'd seen two more pearls of the Pacific. I remember strolling the international marketplace that night, looking at treasures from all over the Orient, and noted that we, having not much more than each other, had wished for nothing more. What more did the starry fates have ahead? Some supernovae loves were dead, the other bright lights gone, shining elsewhere. Astronomical events aren't that rare. My trip to South Korea was at hand. I'd be gone for a week or so. Colleen didn't have much time left in Hawaii, but I would have to miss some of it.
Have fun with the Korean girls.
It's like a police state over there.
Free love, kiss someone.
I'll bring one back here.
Great.
You're very magnanimous.